a amazing guest. His name is Orloff Phillips. Orloff Phillips is has a business. It's called Swiss and Associates. Did I say that correctly?
Swiss Associates.
Swiss Associates. And he's going to tell us about his business and how he got started and all that stuff. So sit back, guys. It's going to be a really great interview. How are you today, Orloff?
I'm well, thank you for asking. How you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. So tell us about Swiss Associates. How did it get its name?
Well, we took the name from because we wanted to be a business of excellence. So we looked at other brands out there, and so we took the Swiss brand from the Swiss banking system, knowing that it had a great reputation, and knowing that that really translate to a level of excellence and innovation. We thought it was going to be a good fit. Well, I thought it was going to be a good fit. My wife really endorsed it, so that helped sell sold the idea of the name Swiss Associates.
Okay, okay. So when did it get started? How long you been in business?
Well, officially, the business got off the ground 2009, but really the backstory on that is our relationship. You and I, you basically had a business by the name of Pentium, and you
I remember
encouraged
that.
me to really take the baton. And I worked with some companies based on the format that you had, using managed services, reselling software, things of that nature. And over a period of time, it really just evolved into Swiss Associates, really recognizing it as its own brand. I did try to hold on to Pentium Communications, but we figured it was best to kind of pivot into a different direction because it was really a different business model in which we would provide on-site support in engineering, more of an extension of a bench when it came to small businesses, and even it was able to scale into large businesses as well.
Okay, how about that? So tell us exactly what does Swiss Associates do?
Well, Swiss Associates, we work as a strategic partner with businesses, and we come alongside them to represent their IT department. And so, small businesses who typically can't afford or really don't have a vision for what they want for their IT solutions, we come along as an either as an on-demand service or as a retainer-based service, and we supplement their IT department. And that allows them to really be nimble and focus on their day-to-day operations. And then we can come alongside them to really give them a roadmap on what that would look like currently for them and over a period of 3 to 5 years. And so that's what Swiss Associates the core is. And what that allows us to do is to not only work with small businesses, but also work with large businesses or and even medium-sized businesses who do have an internal IT department. And if they have an internal IT department, then we become an extension of their bench. We work with their project managers, we work with their CIOs and their main stakeholders to really understand where they are of the delivery of their technology. Because those companies at those size, they usually have a plan, and it's just the capacity to really deliver it. So we will come alongside them over a period of time as a strategic partner to really help them understand how to deliver it, how to execute it, and really help them cross the finish line. And so over the past 17 years, that's the model that we have been attached to really help businesses deliver their technology based on best practices. That's the term that is used out there, but it's really just helping them support their infrastructure, their analytics, their digital solutions. So anything from cybersecurity to digital displays that they may have that broadcast menus and things of that nature, POS systems, low voltage cabling, and even planning for cloud solutions and migration and things of that nature, and even software development. So we'll get our hands involved depending on where that company is to help them really execute on that plan.
So give us an example of how you guys will work with a POS system, and how does I would assume a cyber criminal could hack into it. Give us an example for those who are real retailers out there and they're
Mhm,
concerned with
mhm,
their POS system might not might
mhm.
could potentially be compromised.
Yeah, some of the data behind that is, almost 80% of businesses, small businesses, mid-sized businesses, large businesses combined, are already vulnerable when it comes to bad actors. And most of the times, believe it or not, bad actors, they're not trying to get caught. They're trying to basically leech off of those businesses because they want to get to the big prizes. They want to get to areas where they can either do ransomware or they can take a certain amount of data and resell it on the black market. So they're not trying to get caught. That's that's the misnomer. They're really trying to act in the background and really monitor and use human error for the most part to really gain access to systems. So when it comes to a small business that has a POS system, the number one thing that that small business should understand is they should have a great firewall system, and it's usually through their ISP. That's a great starter if they're concerned about licensing and things of that nature. So most ISPs like Verizon, AT&T, Comcast, they have a firewall solution that they can use. And it automatically typically comes with their plan. The challenge with it is really configuring it, making sure that it works with your system, because sometimes it can create a bottleneck. That means it can slow down depending on the time of the day. It can block certain websites you may want to go to, especially if you're doing credit card transactions. Those PCI compliance, they want to make sure that you are equipped to do your business. So for small businesses, it's really important to work with a good ISP that offers a firewall solution if you're concerned about licenses. If not, then there's a variety of solutions, from cloud solutions to what we call an on-site appliance that you can put, and that's really just a wall you're putting up to say no. I don't want bad actors to look into my system. I don't want them to capture any kind of transactions. So those are the two automatic ways to really help small businesses be protected. And where we would come in is a lot of times is because a small business is that they have a lot of things going on, is that we will work between them and their ISP to really make sure that they have the right firewall in place, the right speed, even the right plan. I've worked with small businesses that they're overpaying for some of these solutions. And so we've worked with them to find a better solution that fits their budget, because small businesses, they need everything they can when it comes to help their cash flow.
So how does this work? So do you bring a team inside s- the company, and you guys just get on all the computers? You start with the firewall. Do you do an assessment with the, let's say, the CEO, or do you do
Mhm.
all this stuff remotely? And I'm sorry, there's a fly in the studio. So
Okay, yeah. So it typically starts off with an assessment. It starts off with a conversation like this. We get an idea of where that business, where they stand, and once we have an idea of where they are, then it gives us, I could put together a plan, and I have a team of project coordinators and project managers to really work with them, to be able to gain an understanding of where they are and where they want to go. And once that plan is put together and then we agree upon it, then we can create a timeline on really executing based on best practices and budget. And so
mhm.
we'll walk that out with them. And so if they need, let's say they need things to be upgraded so that, let's say they don't have any cybersecurity insurance, that would be on the roadmap. Like, hey, listen, you guys should get a cybersecurity insurance because if something does happen, you want to be protected. You can get cybersecurity insurance for $25,000 all the way up to, millions of dollars. But, the goal is to, just like you have insurance on your business, you want to have insurance to protect if something were to happen. Not even if it's your fault, it could have been something else that goes on. You can always rely on that cybersecurity insurance to make sure that it can reimburse you for any kind of damage that may have occurred, any kind of appliance that may have failed. So those are just some of the benefits of having a cybersecurity insurance. But more importantly, part of the plan is to really help the business owner understand the benefits of having a strategic partner that takes that weight off their lap. And so we'll walk them through that. If they need on-site support, we can schedule out engineers to come and visit them. Most of the times we get them optimized, and so if they also need remote support, we can offer them remote support to make sure that they get that level of ongoing monitoring, which usually sits on their either laptop or desktop. We can monitor their network. So there are layers to that depending on the type of business and really where they want to go. I mean, I always recommend it's better to have a Fort Knox type of attitude, really,
Mhm.
because you don't want to be in a position in which you regret. And it's not a fear tactic; it's just a reality. If these bad actors can hack our government, Pentagon, and big companies, trust me, no one is really safe from that. So what we do is we want to make sure that that you have the best that's necessary, and it doesn't have to be expensive. I think folks should really understand is that it doesn't have to be expensive. It's called value. It's called an investment, and caring about your business. If you want it to last, these are the things that really matter. There's a customer that I was dealing with recently when it came to, and I was looking at the customer experience, not even the business experience necessarily, because we're so used to engaging with the business. When I saw the look on the customer side, that they had a better experience. I took the feedback from the front desk, the receptionist, the office managers, and they said that their customer experience was a 180. I worked with mid-sized companies, and once we put the right technology in place, when it came to even automating some of their solutions, some of those bottlenecks, some of those pain in the butt things, their customer experience increased, which meant that revenue increased because people like to have a good experience. And so if that's really part of the attitude of the business,
Mhm.
then
Yeah,
the
yeah,
customer experience is profound.
yeah. I can see how your services really take me. I'm gonna give you a scenario. I had a situation where my son's a gamer, and somehow they
Hmm.
hacked into his gaming account, which had a lot of money in it, and they asked for a ransom. So, and it was, they only wanted like $200 or something like that. But $200 to a 12-year-old is a lot
Yeah,
of money. So
yeah,
for them to go so low to go after a 12-year-old, I can only imagine what they would do for a small company. Now, with that being said, have you ever had any experience in dealing with companies that had ransoms, and did they called you guys in to say, hey, how do we deal with the solution? If not, what do you recommend on situations like that?
well, my biggest recommendation when it comes to dealing with any kind of ransom is we want to get the authorities involved. And it's not one of those areas where even as a professional you want to handle it on your own. You want to get the authorities involved so that you have the correct team that can support. I've known of even legal facilities that they've been under that level of scrutiny. You have to involve the authorities. One, because their database is
Mhm.
very, very good when it comes to identifying bad
Right.
actors, and then they also have partners that can help negotiate. So depending on the size of the business, just like when it comes to any kind of risk assessment, is there value in paying for the ransom? I mean, that is the bona fide question. So if they're asking for a ransom and the value of the ransom doesn't meet that dollar amount, then a discussion needs to occur about walking away. That's not the greatest tale you want to tell your
Mhm.
client.
Right.
However, we have to understand that there is a fear-based mechanism. If they do it once, they're going to do it again. And I've been a part of those situations where they have done it again. So if they come and you pay them, folks, get it. I'm gonna tell you this is the truth. They usually put a Trojan horse in your system. They put a Trojan
So
horse in your system.
so what exactly is
So
the
they
Trojan? What
so
exactly is
what
the
they do
Trojan
is
horse?
so basically it's a code, it's a backdoor that they put into your system. So depending on the size of your business, they can plant, let's say on your network, they can open up certain ports on your network that's accessible. And so you may do everything you can. You may get all your data back. You may do everything you can to, put the right solutions in place, change passwords, things of that nature. Um,
Mhm.
but the reality is that the forensic side of it, unless you have a forensics team that goes through, which most businesses don't have because there's a dollar amount attached to it, um,
Mhm.
or what a forensic team will tell you to do is to replace your network switches, those routers. They will tell you to go and replace those things, replace your firewall immediately, because that's where your cybersecurity insurance will come in. It would reimburse you for that. But if you don't have that, um, you're still vulnerable if you're still using those appliances. I wholeheartedly believe that is a strategy that's used because they know that those businesses, they can't see everything. And what happens is that if you pay that ransom, let's say you paid it $200, um, well, guess what? They're going to do it again. Just like a thief on the corner. They're going to monitor you. They're going to watch you. They're going to watch you. And guess what? They have access to you again. So in that situation, the trauma for real, it's real trauma. I mean, it's a terrible situation. It's real trauma that to be violated like that, it's a distress. And so what my recommendation typically is we work with a professional, get law enforcement involved, and depending on the value of that ransom, let that professional negotiate. And that professional usually has access to areas that, the common person, but as a professional, those are things that we can help mitigate. And then, depending on the size of the business again and those stakeholders, we can put solutions in place. We can put temporary solutions in place until we do a forensics on your existing technology. If that technology is taken care of based on the assessments that we put on it, then you can reuse it because obviously if it's a cost, then it's cheaper to go with our assessment and cleaning process versus then going and replacing everything. But if you have the budget and you have cybersecurity insurance, um, it's probably a good idea to, depending on the age of the equipment, because a lot of times it's the age of the equipment that plays into it. That's how they're able to find these back doors. We're able to work with our team and law enforcement team to really lock down your system and put good parameters in place, put good governance in place, and hopefully human beings follow that plan. But once
Right.
training is in place, once the governance in place, once leadership has bought into that plan, then moving forward, companies are typically good.
Well, so I was going to ask you, it looks like your company does do forensics, okay?
Hmm.
And you do help with the planning of the,
Hmm.
from start to finish on the organizational cybersecurity issues and practices. So
Hmm.
outside of cybersecurity, what else can we say your company does?
Well, one of our biggest area is low voltage cabling. The low voltage cabling is just Ethernet cable, internet cable. So we'll work with existing offices, new offices, new builds. You see a lot of construction going on everywhere. So we'll work with office buildings, retailers, commercial spaces primarily, to cable up their infrastructure, bring everything into the network closet, even rack their system. So if their IT department or if their purchasing manager, whoever, will work with them to make sure that they purchase the right equipment, or if they work, even if they're working with an MSP, because a lot of MSPs don't have the capacity to have on-site engineers. We'll work with an existing MSP or a value-added reseller to really install those equipment, make sure everything is tested. So low voltage cabling is a big deal. Fiber optics is a big deal. They call it rack and stack. So that's like a big area for us to really make sure that that company is set up correctly, or even what they call refresh. We'll help them refresh those technologies to make sure that they're working at to the best capacity. The other area that we also focus on is we're getting more involved in is AI. We're working with small businesses to identify how their workflow can be improved. And some
Mhm.
simple examples can be, a general contractor who has many clients and they're on the go, they're working with their team in the field every day. Well, they also want to be able to post their jobs. They want to be able to post on social media, talk about customer feedback. They want to be able to have videos and things like that. And that, at the end of the day, is just really tiring. And then with AI now, AI can schedule all that stuff. You can plug your what you want, whether it's Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok, and you can post all that stuff based on a calendar, and we will work with them to help prepare it and put them in a position that from their cell phone they can tweak it if they want to. Typically, we get them going so that they have a system. Once the system is in place and once they're trained on using the system, then they're typically good to go. And then we can be there to support them on an ongoing basis. So AI is a big thing, and also quantum technology is something that we have been working with some startups on their discovery on the concept on going to market. So there's some going to market solutions that they're working on. Couple companies up in Ohio, one is up in Erie, that they're working on some really really innovative solutions. And here's the thing that we love AI now because it is the hottest ticket. And when
Mhm.
quantum computing, when quantum technology is wrapped around AI, game is really going to be on because everything's going to be faster. Everything is going to be really like at a Star Trek level. And I'm not using hyperbole when I say that. Quantum computing is 5 years, maybe 10 years away. And I would say every year, I mean, it's becoming more and more as like this thing is really going to happen. Big companies are already using it: IBM, Microsoft, Amazon. Countries, even the United States, China. These these are major infrastructures that they're building out. Once they have solved the heating and a power issue, which is what these startups are doing. They're really working with concepts around the heat problem. So we love our cell phones. Everybody's got a cell phone. At one point in time, those cell phones were really hot, right? They were like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And then the speed on those cell phones were horrible. But we love them now
Yeah, I remember
because
those days.
the cell phones, you can use them all day and they're not burning up in your hands,
The
batteries aren't blowing up and things like that. Well,
technology got
that's
better.
what's going to happen with quantum. Quantum computing will be the size of a cell phone, and you think your cell phone is fast now. Wait until that technology is a part of it. It's just going to change everything that we do.
Wow. So let me ask you some rapid fire questions. All right. With
Sure.
these questions, it's going to be about your business, and I just need you to say yes or no. All right.
Okay.
Does Swiss Associates uh, set up the computer infrastructure in a company?
Yes.
Does Swiss Associates assist a company with their AI solutions?
Yes.
Does Swiss Associates help a company fight cybercrime?
Yes.
Does Swiss Associates work with training and implementation of and rollout of their systems?
Yes.
Great. Well, sounds like a total solution there. How about that? Yeah. So sounds like so we have a clear understanding of what Swiss Associates does. With that being said, let me ask you, what and how are you uh, positioning your company to help, let's say, kids coming out of college, future leaders and entrepreneurs, people trying to get into the technology space? What is your company doing to, let's say, assist with that, or get how your company is getting involved, should I say?
hmm Well, we do a number of mentoring. I work with the local chamber of commerce, so there's a lot of community involvement. I've worked with SCORE. I've spoken at a variety of high schools and different events. I'm a strong believer in mentoring um, the youth because it's so important to really hear where they are. A lot of times they tend to come off a little shy, even the strongest of personalities, because they're interested, but they don't want to sound stupid. But once you get them going, they really open up about their ideas, and I think that's such an amazing thing to be in a space where you can hear about those just the difference that they may bring to the table because I think it offers a different level of innovation and mentoring them through that process, helping them understand how they can make an impact on speaking to a young person recently who is a security officer. A young person
Mhm.
was a security officer, and I was working with some engineers on some cybersecurity infrastructure in Delaware, as a matter of fact. And security person was like, "Hey, I've been thinking about going back to school and and just listing some stuff." And I was like, "Hands down, focus on cybersecurity." And the reason why you want to do that is as technology hits the market, we're going to need more and more people to manage the AI solutions to really, it's not, you don't have to be a programmer anymore. You don't have to be able to understand code to the degree of 25, 30, 50 years ago. You have to be able to understand the impact of it, how to take solutions, create middleware to help systems talk, and also be able to create preventative actions so that you're not creating vulnerabilities on your network. Those are things that AI can do, but you need people to help manage it. You need to help people to see, well, okay, well, that makes sense, but I don't want that solution because that's going to break, you know? So that's really the goal when it comes to cybersecurity, being able to assess the network, being able to monitor it, being able to give recommendations and let AI do the hard work. Human beings play a large role in cybersecurity assurances, and let AI do the hard work when it comes to the day-to-day, minute by minute, millisecond by millisecond monitoring. You don't, I mean, there used to be days you have to sit in front of your computer and watch stuff and wait for alerts. And that's literally maybe 12 hours. It's gone to the point where I would say if a bad actor gets into your network, that's way too late. That's way too late.
Wow.
You should be, AI will help you um, determine them before they get into your system. And so there's solutions that, when it comes to mentoring and helping young folks really understand that that is their way of creating a career for themselves.
Yes. Yeah. So essentially, you don't. A lot of people are concerned with AI, thinking they're not going to have jobs. They're actually, to me, I think it's going to be more jobs. You know, AI is going to
Yeah.
bring about more jobs. They're just
Hmm.
different from the jobs that people have.
Yeah, absolutely.
You
It's
know.
going to be different. I mean, just think about the Y2K boom. So that created different types of jobs, and it also eliminated jobs. Coming into the 1900s, we didn't need horse and buggy as much because what we had cars, we had trains and stuff. So as things evolve, don't be afraid of the change. The worst thing you can do is to just ignore it. Don't not ignore it. Embrace it. Understand that you play a role in it. Understand that it's going to change. Companies, we're hearing layoffs, and I think that's freaking people out. It's part of the learning curve, even for companies. This is nothing personal
Mhm.
I mean, this is not like, oh, this is the end of the world. You still have an opportunity now, especially if you're young. Oh my gosh. Calvin and I, we remember when we were young, you pivot. You just pivot
Yeah.
and you find opportunities that work for you. It's not the end of the world. That is character building moments. And with I mean, the learning curve is amazing that you can learn things at a faster rate now than ever before. So you're in a great position if you're young, or if you're seasoned, that you can pivot
Mhm.
into different areas. Yes, some jobs are doomed. Some jobs are
Mhm.
they're just going to be obsolete because they're just not going to be needed anymore. So you have
Mhm.
to be aware of that. No matter how much your boss likes you, no matter how much great you think your space you're in, the reality is that you may have to be prepared to pivot and start to look at those opportunities now instead of ignoring it. Because if you're in the prime of your career, or if you're getting started, um, it's okay to ask questions so that you can grow. We call it, Calvin, growth mindset, right? Have a growth
That's right.
mindset
That's right.
to
Have a
be able
growth
to
mindset.
adjust. Hmm.
Right. So, where and what are some of the things that Swiss Associates is doing, you know, to take you guys into the next level, take you guys into the future? Where are you guys going?
Well, as I mentioned before, I think working with AI solutions is definitely one of the areas that we're looking to grow in. We're looking to also grow in when it comes to working with small businesses. There's more small businesses that's coming to market, and so we want to be a strategic partner for those type of businesses. So AI, working with small businesses that don't have an IT infrastructure, and they want a trusted strategic partner to help them, really long term. Even if it's changes that they're going through, they might be moving from one location to another. We're that partner for you. If you're looking to scale your business, we're that business for you. If you're looking to upgrade your business, if you're looking to just do all types of solutions that you just can't do everything by yourself, we're that partner for you. And because mid-sized businesses, they use us, and large businesses, they use us. So I'm going to use those same ideas that those large businesses that they spend millions of dollars on documentation, and you have the advantage of it. You have an expert that has delivered over 16,000 projects successfully. You have that expert now to give you what large businesses are doing. So if you want to compete with the big guys out there, then we're the type of business that can help you being able to carve out that space for your vision.
Wow. Wow. Well, I think that's all we have for today. I think that was an amazing conversation with you, Orloff. Thank you for your time. It's been a great, great interview. And I guess I have one last thing. Where can people find you? Like, well, give us your information so that if someone has a business and they're interested in working with you, where should they go?
Well, I would say send an email to us. It's sales@swissassociates.com, SUISSE associates.com. You can visit our website, swissassociates.com. And you can give us a call. Our local number is 267-369-0439. And you give us a call, and one of our representatives will be able to take your call. We have a sales team and account manager. And if you want to speak to me directly, I am available to be able to take your calls, any kind of questions. I'd rather answer questions on where your concerns are via email or even our contact form. And that way you can have some informed decisions that will impact your business. And that doesn't cost you anything. It's just really talking through what that may look like for you.
Okay. Okay. Well, thank you very much, and have a great day, Orloff, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Take care. Thanks again, Calvin.
All right.